Oh, hey there. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to make sure that you know about a free workshop I'm hosting on April 8th called How to Lose Weight in Perimenopause. If you have been doing all the right things and you're still not seeing results, this is exactly what you need. We're covering why the old approach has stopped working and what actually works for your body right now. Spots are limited, so head to the show notes and click the link to register for this free workshop. Okay, let's get into today's episode. I'm Ashley Malik, and I help midlife moms to feel amazing using nutrition and mindset strategies that give you the healthy, happy, and confident life you've been striving for. After losing 65 pounds in perimenopause, tackling gut health issues, and surviving breast cancer, I've learned that health and wellness is so much more than just gathering information. Learning to rewire your brain and your thoughts lets you take all that valuable information and put it into action so that you actually get results. Here, you'll get strategies for eating healthy food without feeling deprived, systems for making nutrition work for you and your family, and steps to rewire your brain so that you never have to rely on motivation again. If you're ready to be healthy, have more energy, and thrive in midlife, you're in the right place. This is the Family Fork Podcast. Hello there, my friend, and welcome back to the Family Fork. I am so glad you're here with me today. So, the other day, I was walking my dog. I walk my dog twice a day, every day. It's just become a part of my routine. And the other afternoon, I headed out for my usual walk, and it was definitely warmer than I had expected. But I thought, you know what? No big deal. I had on yoga pants and a long sleeve shirt. My walk is only 30 minutes. Like, how bad can it be? Well, 10 minutes in, I realized that I had made a huge mistake. The sun was so hot and I felt like I was just baking in my long sleeves and my yoga pants. So I started like rolling up my sleeves. And honestly, I thought about rolling up my yoga pants, which I promise you that's not a good look. But I was sweating and trying to cool down. And right there in that very moment, it hit me. The season for wearing shorts is coming. Summer is right around the corner, whether I'm ready or not. Now, let's be really clear about something. I have never been the kind of woman who believes that you need to have a bikini body just to enjoy the summer. I don't really think that that's a realistic standard for most women, unless that's something that you really want to work towards, which that's fine too. But here's what I do think, that summer means vacations. It means more time at the pool. It means hiking and biking and hanging out at barbecues with friends and family. And for a lot of those moments, you are probably going to want, I don't know, a cute sundress or a really cute pair of shorts. You want to feel good when you're wearing those summer outfits, and you want to feel comfortable in your own skin. So, with that, the next couple of episodes are part of the Spring into Summer series. It's a 4-episode series, and the goal is to help you make meaningful progress on your health and how you feel in your body before summer ever arrives. But we have to be realistic. There is only so much time between now and those summer months. So we're not going to chase some impossible standard. Instead, we're going to focus on the things that actually work for women in perimenopause and menopause. The things that will help you to feel healthy and strong and confident when summer rolls around. So maybe for you, it's toning up your arms so you feel really great in a tank top when you go on that cruise. Maybe it's feeling lighter and more energetic so you can keep up with your family at Disneyland. I know that's something on our list this summer. Maybe it's just wanting to put on a pair of shorts and not spend the whole day tugging at them and feeling self-conscious. I get that because that's totally me. So whatever it is for you, I want to help get you there. Now, here's what makes this series different from all of the generic summer body content that you're going to see just literally flooding your social media over the next couple of months. This series is built on the same framework I use in the Perimenopause Weight Loss Method, which is my group program for midlife moms. Inside that program, I teach a 4-part framework: think, thrive, master, and maintain. Each episode in this series maps to one of those 4 phases. And so today we are going to start with think. Because here's what I know. Spring is this time when motivation, it just kind of naturally spikes. You're opening the windows, cleaning the house. The weather is starting to get nicer, obviously. And suddenly you feel like you want to shake things up a little bit. That makes it a great time to clear out the health and wellness habits that no longer serve you. But spring is also when old health and weight loss approaches tend to resurface and come up again. Your instinct heading into summer is to just do more. Restrict your calories more, try and work out more, be more disciplined, be more perfect on whatever plan you're following. If you're a woman in perimenopause or menopause, that approach is going to backfire. I have seen it happen time and time again. I've even lived it myself. The reality is, the answer isn't doing more. The answer is actually thinking differently. Your thoughts that go on in your head, they're not just background noise. They're not just chatter as you go about your day. Your thoughts are actually producing your results. And if you want different results, you have to start with different thoughts. That's what this episode is all about. So let me start with one of the most detrimental thoughts a perimenopausal woman can carry around with her. It's this: I just need more discipline, or maybe a version of that. If only I could get more motivated. Have you ever thought that? I know I definitely have. When something isn't working, your first instinct is to just blame yourself. We think, oh, if I could have just been more disciplined, if I could have just stuck to the plan better, if I could just have some more willpower. But here's what's actually happening when you lead with willpower. Willpower is a finite resource. It runs out, doesn't last forever. You can push your way through a diet for a few weeks or maybe even a few months, but eventually life happens. You get stressed, you're tired, you have a bad day. And when your willpower tank is empty, you are right back where you started. Except now you also kind of feel like a failure. Starting with identity is different. When you shift from willpower to identity, you're not relying on a resource that depletes and goes away. Updating your identity allows you to operate from a belief about who you are and who you are becoming. And that belief will sustain you even when things get hard. So instead of thinking, oh, I need more discipline to get through this diet or to lose the weight, what if you started thinking, I am the kind of woman who takes care of her body? Or I'm the kind of woman who makes choices that support my health, even when it's not convenient. Can you feel that? It's a completely different foundation to build on. And it holds up so much better when life gets crazy. Now, I want to talk about goals for a minute because I know it is natural to want to create goals for yourself, especially when you're feeling motivated. So you might be thinking something like, I want to lose 10 pounds before summer. And that sounds like a reasonable, achievable goal, right? But here's the problem. What happens when summer gets here? The barbecues happen, vacations, you're spending more time at the pool. Maybe they serve cocktails poolside. And suddenly, all of that momentum that you built up before summer, it just disappears. I don't want that for you. I don't want you working so hard to lose those 10 pounds before summer and then losing all of that progress just because you're living your life the way you should in the summer months. So, what if you shifted that goal a little bit? Instead of saying, I want to lose 10 pounds before summer, what if you started thinking, how can I use this season as a springboard for getting healthy and fit for the rest of my life? Do you feel the difference there? When you shift from a deadline to a direction, it's all going to change for you. Suddenly, you are not sprinting towards some finish line and then just letting it all fall apart. You're building something that lasts. And when you're at that summer barbecue, your choices will look different. You won't feel like you're cheating on a diet. You'll actually make choices that align with who you are and where you're headed. It's that identity piece. And that is a completely different experience. Now, I want to talk about two specific thought patterns that I see keeping women stuck all the time. And I really want you to listen to these. I really think that there's a good chance one or both will sound really familiar for you. So the first one is this: nothing ever works for me. Does that resonate? If you have been trying to lose weight for years, if you've tried diet after diet and program after program, and you still haven't gotten lasting results, that thought of nothing ever works for me, that thought probably feels really true to you. And I get it. You have the evidence. You can point to all the things that you've tried that didn't work. That Whole30 meal plan that only lasted 4 days. The online Pilates program that you bought but never started. That weighted vest that sits at the front door, it is just collecting dust. Those 4 different protein powders that you bought, but they all taste gross. So it feels like a very true fact. Nothing works for me no matter how hard I try. But when you think nothing ever works for me, here's what that thought is actually doing. It is closing you off. When you believe that nothing ever works for you, you actually stop being open to any possibility. You stop being open to creative problem solving. And you approach every new thing with this underlying belief that probably won't work. So what's the point? And then guess what? That approach, that meal plan, the protein powder, none of it works because you were already halfway out the door before you even started. So, what if you replace that thought with something a little bit more open, full of possibility? So, what if you try this? What if this one thing I try today works just for today? That's it. You're not committing to a whole new lifestyle. You're not promising yourself that you'll be perfect forever, because that won't happen. You're just saying, what if I try one thing today, like drinking 80 ounces of water? And what if that helps me feel better just for today? You do not have to fix everything at once. You stitch together one small success and then another and then another. And eventually, you have built something tangible and sustainable. The second thought pattern that I see with women all the time is, I don't have time. Now, this is a huge one for busy women because you're juggling your career, your family, maybe aging parents. I know I am. Your relationship, your household. I mean, some days you barely have time to even get in a full shower, let alone meal prep or get to the gym. So when you think about your health goals, your brain immediately says, no, I do not have time for that. I don't have time to cook a healthy meal. I don't have time to work out. I don't even have time to watch an online workshop about weight loss. And here's the thing. If you believe that you don't have time, you will never find time. That thought, it truly becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your brain takes it like an instruction and it just stops looking for opportunities. But what if you replace that thought with something like this? What if I had 10 minutes today? What could I do in 10 minutes to support my health and wellness goals? 10 minutes. That's it. Not an hour, not a whole morning, 10 minutes. Now, when you give your brain that instruction, it starts looking for solutions instead of obstacles. And you would be surprised what you can do in 10 minutes. A very quick walk, some stretching, prep a healthy snack, drink a big glass of water, write down your goals. All of it, it adds up. So I want to share a quick little story with you about a client that I worked with. Her name was Sherry. And Sherry came to me feeling so defeated. She had tried to lose weight before she would go on vacation or before big events, like so many times. And the challenge is that she could never keep those results going for any long period of time. She would definitely lose some of the weight that she had planned, but then once that vacation was over or the event with the fancy dress was done, her habits, they never stuck around long enough for her to maintain those results. So when Sherry came to me, she had a lot of self-doubt. She had tried so many different diet approaches and meal plans, and nothing ever stuck. She'd tried Whole30 and Weight Watchers. She had some online Pilates workouts that she liked, but it was really hard for her to build them into her regular schedule. She truly did not believe that she would ever be able to lose weight and maintain it. She spent a lot of time blaming herself. She would say things like, I'm not disciplined. I don't have any willpower and nothing ever works for me. She truly thought there was something fundamentally wrong with her that wouldn't allow her to keep the weight off. So when we started working together inside the method, we uncovered something really important. A lot of Sherry's thoughts revolved around doing things perfectly, or as she always said, the right way. She believed that she had to follow a meal plan to a T, or otherwise she had failed. She really believed she had to work out every single day, or the workouts didn't count. This all or nothing thinking was the thing that was actually keeping her really stuck. So we worked on a mindset reframe. And this reframe, it was pretty simple, but it was so impactful. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Sherry, she started practicing this new way of thinking, and she actually learned that she could enjoy a vacation and still stay on track outside of vacation time. She learned that one setback or even two didn't mean that she had failed completely. And it didn't mean that she wasn't capable of keeping her weight loss journey going. And something shifted for her. She actually stopped seeing health and wellness and weight loss as this like one and done thing. She started seeing it as a journey with bumps and detours, of course, but a journey that she could actually sustain. That one mindset shift, it changed everything for her. So here's what I want you to take away from today's episode, a reframe of sorts that is going to help you spring into summer. It's not really about what you want to look like. It's more about how you want to feel. Now, when you think about summer, how do you want to feel? Light, happy, energetic, confident? When you think about that vacation to Disneyland and you imagine yourself wearing shorts or that cute tennis skirt, because, oh my gosh, they're so trendy right now, how will you feel in that outfit? Or when you go to your neighbor's house for a summer barbecue, how confident will you feel when you wear that strapless dress and someone compliments your toned arms? When you get clear on how you want to feel this summer, it makes your choices so much easier because you're not just trying to hit some number on the scale. You're actually trying to create a feeling, an experience for your life, and an identity for who you are. And you have much more control over your feelings than you actually realize. Your thoughts create your feelings drive your actions. So if you want to feel light and energetic this summer, you can start by thinking the thoughts that are going to support those feelings. So here's some homework for you this week. I want you to start watching for your automatic thoughts. Just notice them and don't judge them, but pay attention to what runs through your head constantly, especially when it comes to your health and your body. And if you catch yourself thinking, oh, nothing ever works for me, I want you to try replacing it with, what if I try one thing today that works just for today? Or if you catch yourself thinking, oh, I definitely don't have time for that, I want you to try replacing it with, what if I had 10 minutes today? What could I do in just that 10 minutes? That's it. Just practice those two reframes this week and notice what shifts for you. Because here's the bigger picture. When you change your thoughts, you actually change your outcome. One success stacked on top of another, on top of another. That is how you build habits that last. That is how you create a summer where you feel amazing in your body, not because you tortured yourself for 2 or 3 months, but because you started thinking differently. Now, before we go, I want to remind you of a resource that is really going to help you spring into summer. So if you want to take what we talked about today and put it into action, go grab the 21-day anti-inflammatory guide. It is a free resource. Plus, it has a private podcast, and it all pairs perfectly with the series that you're listening to. So you can find the link for that free guide in the show notes. Now, next week, we're moving into episode 2 of the Spring into Summer series, and we're going to talk about nutrition. More specifically, why anti-inflammatory eating is the most underrated tool for midlife women who actually want results before summer. I'm super excited about that one. You know I love to talk about food. So make sure that you are subscribed to The Family Fork so you don't miss the next episode. Thanks so much for spending your time with me today, and I will see you right back here next week on The Family Fork. Thanks for listening to the Family Fork podcast. I hope today left you inspired and equipped with something tangible that you can put into action today. Remember, success is so much more than just gathering information. You have to put it into action. If this episode resonated with you, here's how you can help the show reach even more midlife moms. Hit follow, share it with a friend who's struggling in midlife too, and if you're feeling generous, leave us a review. Your thoughtful review helps other listeners discover these conversations when they need them the most. This show has become even more than I could have imagined, and it's because of loyal listeners like you who show up and share. You are helping to build this community and movement that will inspire midlife moms for years to come. For show notes, links, and resources, head to ashleymalik.com/podcast. Keep striving for the healthy, energized life that you deserve.